What's up? Welcome into episode 4 of Beyond the Game. On today's episode, we will be talking strictly football. We'll be talking about the draft. What the hell is going on around the NFL, man? Shedeur Sanders slid. That slide, I think it looked bad for the league. We'll get into that and more on this episode of Beyond the Game. All right, man. Cam Ward, he goes number 1 to the Tennessee Titans, and Jacksonville Jaguars trade up to number 2 to get Travis Hunter. All right, I think it was pretty. It was a consensus. Like everybody already knew that.
Travis, minimum
Cam.
was going top 3.
Well, that's what we thought about Shedeur, but we knew Cam Ward was going to go number 1.
Yeah,
We
that
didn't
was the
know who was
Titans
going to
guy.
take Travis, but we thought Travis was going to. We kind of figured Travis was going to be in that top 3.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just talk about those two at first. We'll get the Tennessee Titans. I think they aren't really in any place to contend for anything this year. I think they did get a little bit better this year in this draft.
For sure. I
Um,
think a little bit of off season too, trying to build some pieces around
yeah,
Cam.
uh,
Because they
yeah.
want.
They still got Calvin Ridley out there. I
Mm-hmm.
think they'll be decent, but I don't think they're really going to compete for anything or it's probably gonna take them a few years to really start. I mean, they got a new quarterback, so I think the team will kind of grow and develop with him. They'll start to
Yeah,
build around him and stuff like that.
maybe them reaching out throughout the season, try to get a trader to get things kind of rolling. I think the hardest thing for them is really in their division. They still have to deal with the Texans, the Colts, and then the Jaguars, who also all reloaded throughout this offseason and
Yeah,
the draft too.
I mean, well, let's be real. Like, I mean, the Texans kind of have that division on lock. The
Yeah.
Colts, we hoping Anthony Richardson comes into something, but let's be real. It's either they gonna have him or Daniel Jones this year, and ain't nobody. So I mean, and then who else you said? The Jaguars, the Jags now with Travis. I hope now with Travis with Trevor Lawrence. I hope Trevor Lawrence gets back to playing the way Trevor Lawrence was playing football.
Like he
Because
should.
this
Matt
ain't
Home
it.
was one undefeated for 2 seasons.
Yeah, this
Like,
foolishness that he been putting out. This ain't it. They
yeah,
thought this man was the next they thought he was the next best prospect since Andrew Luck and RG3, and we know them two was really lighting it up as rookies.
yeah. Like
And
rookie year came out booming.
if one wouldn't have gotten hurt and the other wouldn't, well, shoot, both of them really. Just
Mm-hmm.
a matter of injuries because Andrew Luck stayed hurt, but they would have been really good.
Would have
So I
been
mean,
dogs. Like, you would think too. Like Trevor Lawrence got what 6'5", 6'6" frame, pro style quarterback, move.
prototypical
Like,
quarterback and can move. Yes,
mm-hmm.
prototypical style quarterback, like what you would want, like that. The way everyone's going for it in this draft, which was part of the reason why I think Shedeur slid, was everyone's looking for that Josh Allen prototype, and Trevor Lawrence might not be as fast, but Trevor Lawrence can still move. He's got the arm strength. He can make
Mm-hmm.
all the throws, and like you said, he's big, he's fast.
But so he's like
Like,
what 25, 26 too.
yeah, he's young. Yeah, he's still young.
Like they should be able to do something. They got two in from Virginia Tech as well. New running back in. I ran the fastest 40 in the combine. It was arguably the fastest running back in college football this year. So they put some more weapons around Trevor too to make that division a bit more
I mean,
competitive.
I hope so. Like, to be real, I honestly and truly hope so because, but I mean, they also need Trevor Lawrence. Like, okay, I'm not going to make any excuses for Trevor Lawrence because Trevor Lawrence has not played good football, to be real, and it's like when? Like, when are you going to? Because you look at Trevor Lawrence as a player that is going to elevate. Like, he was supposed to be that player that elevated players around him. Trevor
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence was supposed to make people around him better. Trevor Lawrence wasn't supposed to be one of those players that needed people around him to make him better. Like, and so when is Trevor Lawrence going to start doing that? And we have yet to see that. And yeah, we've yet to see it. And they've got to do something. Like and they just let go of Doug Peterson. So I think next is Trevor Lawrence. If they aren't starting to get some success, Trevor Lawrence is out of there. And I think that's why you go get him a Travis Hunter though. Like, and they have said that they have every
Oh,
intent of using
let
Travis
him
Hunter
play
on both
both
sides of
sides
the
of the ball.
football. And
Yeah,
so
they
that's
already told
going
him
to
that I got
be
to limit him.
yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing that in the NFL. I
I think
mean, go ahead.
I think with that division, honestly, we got to see a slight rise in competition too. Because not only
I
that,
hope so.
with the Jaguars, but the Colts also went out and picked up DJ Giddings, who somehow had the season he had, ran 4.4 at the combine,
And slid.
4.43,
All
and
of them
slid to
slid.
the fifth round. The
All of
fifth
them
round,
slid.
bro. But I think overall, that
But I
whole
mean,
division.
go ahead.
I was about to say, I think overall, that whole division, by the way things are looking at aiming up to be, it should lift up. It'd be another
I hope
competitive
so.
division.
I sure as hell hope it's a better division because ever since the Texans got CJ Stroud and what's his name, the head coach, they just been
Marco
they
Ryan.
just been they just been dragging their nuts all across that what is that, the AFC East? They've
No, that's
just
the
been
South.
the
AFC
AFC
South.
South, they just been oh yeah, the East is with the Jets, the Dolphins, and them. Yeah, yeah. They
Yeah.
just been the Texans have been just been dragging all across that dang on division. That division has not been doing nothing. Like the Texans
You
didn't
ain't
even have
lying
that
though,
good of a
bro.
season last
Like,
year. Bro, the Texans didn't even have that good of a season last year, and them
I still
boys
made the
still
playoffs.
they won the division. They had a whole playoff game. What are we talking about? Like,
But that's the
what are we
AFC
talking
South,
about?
bro. We
But
forget
that's what.
who's the AFC South. Like exactly how you were earlier.
Yeah, I guess it's about as buns as the NFC South, but that's neither here nor there. We'll get to
Facts.
them buns later. Them trash, them little scrubs later.
Facts. Facts.
But I think the talking point of the draft was Shedeur Sanders sliding. Like,
Fifth round pick 144 is crazy.
he was the sixth pick
I think the
of the
craziest thing
fifth
about this
round.
whole scenario is that the
Like,
fact that that the president Donald Trump voiced his word on how it's crazy to him that Shador slid.
really?
Yes, on Twitter.
I did not.
On
I did
Twitter.
not see that.
Bucky
I did not see
reposted it
that.
on Instagram. I think it was day 2 when he did get drafted.
I did not see that.
And even he's out here like Shador is the best quarterback out here in this draft. It is ridiculous that he slid.
Bro, I was already okay. The foolishness and that BS that was coming out of their mouth about Shador not being the first one, being drafted, the first quarterback off the board. I was letting that slide. I was like, you know what, whatever. Y'all
Yeah,
folks can have it. Y'all gonna create whatever
it's
narrative,
just
and
reporters.
exactly, and I understand that what comes with that last name and who he has been and who his father is. Not from a standpoint, not that they have done anything wrong, but from the standpoint of they are confident black men, and that ruffles feathers in this country. And for
Intimidates people.
the people that they ruffled a lot of feathers, and they were trying to. Some
Um,
people were trying to like
humble
let
people
them, yeah, yeah,
try to
yeah.
drop that authority.
Yeah, but then someone also brought up the take of like it's been interesting to see and hear all the different takes on this though, because I've heard, of course, I don't think it comes down to race. I will say that. Like, don't think it comes down to Shador is like him being a black man, and like like I think that a lot of teams will put winning above their hate, like above racism. Like, if they can win they will. At least that's the way I look at it. Like because they also understand and know that they have the control and the power. Like you're playing for them. Like,
I
but
understand.
I
I
could be
understand
wrong.
that too. My thing is, if the winning comes to a court, then the whole quarterback draft order needs to be reevaluated.
That's
Evaluated.
fair too.
Because
That's fair
Jackson
too.
Dart, if we're gonna be real, Jackson Dart could have started USC. That's why he ended up at Ole Miss.
Oh no, we're not, yeah. I
And
don't.
then Dylan Gabriel literally is arguably what the most winning quarterback
But
out
I'm
of all the
okay.
quarterbacks that got drafted.
I guess like my take of my okay, hearing people say that Shedeur slid like he was going to go to the Browns all along, and
Mm-hmm.
part of that was like part of this whole thing was them trading that pick or whatever. But like he was going to go to the Browns the whole time. It was just a matter of when he went to the Browns, and they say part of it had to do with ratings, like TV ratings, because at the end of the day, the NFL is all about money. And the longer, like, that's the reason why the first round of the draft takes 4 fucking hours,
Yeah, 10
and
minutes a pick, and then it goes out to 7,
and
and then 5.
and then the next round, and then they do the second and third round in the same amount of time, and then day three goes by faster than day one did, and you got more 3 rounds in the. But that's neither here nor there. But it's all about money. And that's the only thing that I can logically wrap my head around because nothing else, like, unless this
Ah,
man Shador went in there and just told them people to, like y'all can suck my, like, what did, like, that man
see,
had to go in there and just, like, for people were talking about this was the worst draft interview I've ever done and stuff like that. But I'm
the
just like,
worst.
bro,
The only
I
team
don't
that
care.
reported, the only team that quote unquote reported that Shador had a bad draft interview willingly was the Giants. The Giants are the same team that literally allowed Saquon to walk, and their fans based off the contract. Your
Bro,
contract cost
bro, not
y'all
only did you do
got
that,
y'all 3 wins last season. Three
not
wins.
only did they do that, they drafted Daniel Jones and then re-signed Daniel Jones instead of signing Saquon Barkley. I don't want to hear nothing that the Giants organization has to say. They will
Exactly.
continue to be at the bottom of that division. They suck. They are terrible. You know
I have
what?
not
I'm
seen
not
a
even gonna
single
look at this
Giants
shit.
fan like post and be confident about the fact they got Jackson Dart. Everybody
How
posted
can you be? Did you
exactly,
see?
bro.
Oh, okay, two things. Okay, Jackson Dart. I will give Jackson Dart the benefit of the doubt on the fact that a lot of stuff that they ran at Ole Miss, while they did have their RPOs, were down the field throws. They were longer, explosive. Lane Kiffin, he's looking for those big, explosive plays.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Try to hit
I will.
big, hit quick.
But Jackson Dart misses the easy throws. His feet are so bad. Like,
That's why I got him number 3. That would be my number 3 quarterback based off the fact that he can get better. But like you said, the simple things, the
but
simple
yeah,
mechanics, continuously being consistent
yo,
with it.
Mike is rubbing against your beard.
But with Jackson Dart, like the
Mm,
simple things, like the consistency of can you be fundamentally sound throughout the whole game? If a turnover happens, are you
literally,
gonna ruffle your feathers? Because that Florida State game, or not Florida State, that Florida game against the Gators down in the swamp did not look pretty on his behalf
bro. He's not
whatsoever.
like as an Alabama fan, we have played Ole Miss every year that he has. We play Ole Miss every year. Okay, I have never gone. I have gone into an. I have gone into Auburn games more worried about what the hell Bo Nix was going to do versus what the hell Jackson Dart was going to do at Ole Miss. Like, get the like. Are we serious?
Exactly, bro.
Tyler Shuck, are we serious? Did we see not only what he did, not only what he did at the combine, but have we watched this man's film? Did we watch him play games?
Exactly. But that Miami game, the Pittsburgh game,
First of all, how
Pittsburgh.
old is this man?
He's
He
25.
was backing up Bo. When he backing up Bo Nix at Oregon,
I'm pretty sure because he's like 25, bro. He's already like 25, about to be 26. Because he's had 2 seasons for medical red shirts, 2 or 3. But he's played 5 full seasons of college football. I completed, I think, maybe one full season as a starter.
Yeah, he got some of that
2 full
COVID too.
seasons.
That COVID granted him an extra year, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't.
Like
This is
Louisville
just
barely went over
crazy.
500. Like if winning is the mantra of the draft, then Dylan Gabriel should be the first quarterback off.
I mean, I understand. I mean,
but we're just counting wins. So we're just counting wins.
based off of yeah.
Because Dylan Gabriel has won everywhere he go. Now it might have been 9 games in the season, Oklahoma, but then he went to Oregon, went to the Big Ten championship their first year in there. Like this, just crazy. I think a lot of politics
quarterback class was
definitely came
already
into play.
bad.
One of the worst quarterback classes. One of the fucking worst quarterback classes, quote unquote, going into this draft. We have the quarterback that won the golden arm. That went
Yes.
first round.
Yes.
Fifth round.
Yes. He was proven to be the best quarterback in college football last year, and he was a 5th round draft pick.
And then people say he's arrogant. Well, go watch him and Cam Ward work out together. And tell me who's arrogant. People talked about at the draft. Oh, he was doing this, is that. Not serious, wear his hat backwards, just like Jackson Dart wore his hat backwards in the same type of interviews. Group media interviews. Like,
bro, when it comes down, go ahead.
Just with all the nitpicking that Shedeur's be getting, you can find out every other prospect throughout this entire draft. Different things.
I agree.
But
when you watch that man play football,
what is there to question? What is there to question, bro?
He drifts in the pocket. If you had that offensive line, you'd be drifting too. Hell, I'm gonna drift out of bounds. What are we talking about?
In 2 years at Power 4, he got sacked 93, 95 times, and he still has the best accuracy.
Hold on, my boy led all of college football in sacks and still threw for
QB hits, QB pressures.
Threw for over 3,500 yards. Like the man in 2 seasons. He's never had a good offensive line, and in 2 seasons has thrown for over 7,000 yards. This man has never had a bad offensive line, or never had a good offensive line, and has never had a bad touchdown to interception ratio. Like, what was it? His junior year, it was like 24. It was like 27 to, or it was like 20. It was like 24-6 or 24-7. His touchdown to interception ratio, and then this year it was 31-10. I would take 3-1 any day of the week. Give me a 3-1 interception ratio. Please give me a 3-1 interception ratio. While you got Cam Ward out here just throwing up to he's
a guy who didn't get drafted. Shedeur literally had 4 of his guys, the most in college football.
Yeah, he had the most receivers drafted, but you want to tell exactly who's throwing him the ball.
His Heisman was the only 1,000-yard receiver he had at Colorado. Then the number 2 receiver, 800 yards. Number 3, about 600. Jimmy Horn, who didn't even play the whole season, still almost had 500. He missed half of the season. And sharing
my boy went for like a $121 in like game 1 of the season. It was like game 1 or 2. Like,
bro, man. They had that awful game against Kansas when they were just getting blitzkrieged off the edge through the middle A gap. They could have touched a blitzer against Kansas, and he still finished with those stats. Over how many quarterbacks who played games that same week, same opportunity, and did what?
Bro, if you put, it's just as simple. If you take, I don't care if it's Cam Ward, if it's Tyler Shuck, if it's Dylan Gabriel, I don't care who it is. You take them and put them on that Colorado team these past 2 seasons, and I promise you, they don't win 9 games last year, and they don't win 4 games the year before. Like, what are we talking about? Like, when you turn on the film, I understand people talking about, oh, the film is hard to evaluate. I mean, yes, he didn't have the support. People were not blocking for him. But damn it, when I watch the film, I can damn tell that it's 2 motherfuckers out there that ain't like the rest.
Exactly. Because otherwise they're not getting 9 games. They wouldn't even get 4 games. That school would be, everybody be transferred out literally.
Bro, Bro, they wouldn't even have the people that they had transferring into the
With his
school.
offensive
Like,
line, his junior year, where it was just Travis, Jimmy Horn, and Xavier Worthy or Weaver out there at
we
receiver.
were,
When they played USC at home, Caleb Williams maybe didn't even score
and they
twice in the
got
second
mud storm.
half. Didn't score twice in the second half. Shedeur getting sacked, getting pressured the whole first half, and they bring it down to what, single digit, almost a single digit game. I ran
No,
out of
because
time,
that's Amarion Miller.
but like
That boy can
still.
have a season this year, but that's
hmm But like still, for this man to come back, almost come back and beat a Heisman winner when they were up by 3 scores going into halftime, and
yeah.
he got picked number one. And his after his worst season, arguably, at college football.
Oh, easily his work. They were terrible. And
Like,
Caleb Williams last year at USC, they were god awful.
but he's a
You
number one draft pick somehow with worse mechanics.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. Like, okay, you can knock his arm strength, but as far as mechanics, footwork, ability to read a defense and know where to throw the ball on time and on target, there isn't any and everything that you look for in a quarterback. The definition of what it means to play the quarterback position, Shedeur Sanders does it well and does it at a high level. And for you to take these other quarterbacks, you can miss me with that.
All right, bro.
You can
It
miss
just a bunch of politics, man. That's what I chop it up to. The politics, the
politicking.
agendas.
Hey, but look, I guess on the positive side, he did go to the Cleveland Browns, and boy, the Browns could be good this year. Hey,
But they cooking.
they they kept why's my mind going blank?
They got Joku.
They have David Njoku, but they kept Miles Garrett. Okay,
hmm
they were able to get Mason Graham, the D tackle from Michigan. They got him inside. You get Quinshawn Junkins and Dylan Sampson. Are we serious? Like, but I guess that goes just to talk about everyone was trying to get offensive and defensive linemen, but that goes to what I was saying that this was going to bring up the level of play in the league because
hmm
we have the trenches, the especially on the offensive line,
A lot of
just
guys
have not been
retiring,
up to.
bro. They
Yeah, and it just
retiring, get
hasn't been up to
old, get
par.
hurt. Like,
And everyone was making sure that they were getting their offense and defensive linemen, and they were getting their positions of need, and also like they were getting best available players. And although the Eagles showed us you can win a championship by running the football, you need offensive linemen to block to run the football.
hmm
So people were going and getting their offensive linemen. But they also signed Harold Finnan Jr. In the third round, um, and I think they've already had they've got a solid defense up there already. Um,
yeah, Denzel Ward still
and
right.
yeah, and I think like honestly, the only problem with the Browns have just been competent quarterback play. Like they just haven't gotten it. Like
No consistent, confident quarterback
none,
play.
nothing.
But
Nathan,
they got
Nathan
a
to
room
like
now. One thing I ever thought
a
about.
room, a room. Boy, they deep. I just wonder
Do
who
you?
gets cut.
I'm about to say, do you think Dylan Gabriel sticks around? I think that could be somewhat of a trade off. I was
Trade
thinking,
off.
send him somewhere. You
Is bro
drafted
is
him,
bro not like 5'10"?
trade him. You drafted him for what then? At
Trade
that
him
point,
where?
you
Who
drafted him
wants
for
him?
what then? Somebody just as bad that needs a quarterback. Maybe the Cowboys want a backup quarterback because they don't
Yeah,
have
isn't that
one.
sad what happened to Trey Lance?
His career, man, that one ACL tear, everybody just gave up on him. But he was such a
Yeah,
high rated recruit, a high drafted quarterback himself. I'm like, bro, no,
yeah,
this kid
but
hasn't got a shot nowhere.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but I I don't know. I mean, making Dylan Gabriel a backup. I mean, he's going to be like not trying to be funny. He is a backup in this league. Like, I mean, granted,
Currently,
we haven't seen him play, but based on what we've seen, he's not. He's just not that guy. He's a solid player, but he's a collegiate player. Like he was a good college quarterback.
100%
But yeah, they
agree with that.
get they get running backs. Like they have running backs. I don't think they kept Nick
They still,
Chubb. They let
he
Nick
is
Chubb.
re-signed.
They re-signed him.
I would say he has re-signed, but he hasn't declared or like found anywhere to go. There hasn't been no reports on
Okay.
him get ready to leave.
Oh, okay.
But that could be another thing too. Are they gonna stick with Nick Chubb with these injuries? Because
I
then
don't
that leaves
think
some
so
cap.
because when you start getting all these running, and they already had what's his name, Jerome Ford.
Mm-hmm. They got
He's a
Jerome
good back,
Ford.
bro.
The running back market across the league is about
It's
the.
deep.
Mm-hmm. It's deep,
It's deep.
and people are gonna be asking for money. And Nick Chubb is one of those players. When he's healthy, pay that man. Pay that fucking man. And
Hey, oh yeah, we talking about running backs. Hey, shout out to the people out of North Carolina that got drafted this year.
yes, sir.
Jaden Sutton and
Uh,
Amani. They went undrafted, but they signed. I think Jaden went to the Commanders. Amani
hmm
went to
The Browns, yes,
Cleveland.
sir. From Appalachia State.
Yeah. We had a few people. What's his name? Siobhan Rebel out of from ECU. He got drafted. He from
Mm-hmm.
Winston. Um,
Ritzy.
Javari Fritz. Yeah, he signed with the Patriots.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think. Any other North Carolina
Do
Winston
we have
guys?
any more? Yeah, I was gonna say, do we have any more?
Listen, Winston guys, I can't think of nobody else really. I don't think. Yeah, Winston guys, I think that's
Yeah,
about it.
what's his name? Amarian Hampton got signed. I mean, he got drafted too. But yeah,
Yeah,
we
out of
gonna
that.
touch on Amarian Hampton a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
But the Panthers, I think the Panthers had a pretty good draft, and hey, this is what I talk about in the NFL. The NFL is supposed to create parity, like it's supposed to. But
Create
I
some
don't know. I don't know if this
controversy, some
draft did that. I
stories.
feel like this draft kind of somewhat the rich got richer, but we'll touch on that a little bit later. But the
Yeah.
Panthers, they got Tedero McMillan with their first pick, the eighth pick overall. How you feel about that?
Personally, this is no down. I don't want to try to downshot no athletes, but in my opinion, I think the McMillan pick might be a little bit of a stretch. To pick him up that early, I think he might have been pushing around two type of guy, like early first, one of the first guys off in round two. And with some of the defensive needs that Carolina had, I think they could have maybe got a premier defensive player at pick 8 for sure. Like somebody on that defensive line or a linebacker, because the linebacker room is really, really crazy looking. But overall, I feel like they can develop him, especially with players like Adam Thielen already in there. You got people like what's the other wide receiver over there?
Xavier Leggett.
Nah, it's another veteran wide receiver they have. I can't think of.
Oh, they just signed Hunter Renfro.
That's who it was. That's who it was. And them two guys just get his route running down pat. I think
Hmm.
raw prospect wise, having a 6'4" jump ball type of guy. The only thing that stood out to me on his film was just route running and being able to execute, or like not having just two moves for your whole route tree.
Yeah, that's real.
Not, like
That's why
like
Travis locked them
two
up.
releases exactly, bro. Like he performed against every other like corner. I think he might have had 2 games under 100 receiving yards, even under maybe 70. But outside of that, I feel like his just athletic ability just propelled him and let him get
Yeah, it's
away
because
with a
he's
lot of
six
stuff.
four, 6'5". Like that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly Like he has to. And I agree with you. I can agree with you, but I also look at. But I also look at what's the name when Chicago drafted Colston Loveland. I didn't think Colston Loveland was going to be a top 10 draft pick, but
They
hell,
wanted
they
him.
did it.
They wanted him over at Tyler Warren, and the biggest thing I saw with Loveland was that
Crazy to me.
exactly they were like he's gonna be able to not only to block but be a downfield threat. You know, really running routes and be able to like get to his spots. I was like, is that not what Tyler Warren
Tyler
does?
Warren, Tyler Warren,
More athletic,
Tyler Warren do that and more. Tyler Warren do
exactly.
that and then some. Like
Like if he's not gonna quote unquote beat coverage, that's a 6'6" former basketball player who in the college football player against Notre Dame and throughout the playoffs showed he's an athlete. Give him the ball. Boise
athlete.
State, another example. Give him the ball. Put it in his range, his area. He's gonna go up and come down with it, like your Tony Gonzalez is, like your Antonio Gates. It has amazing body control. Like I think the roof is like the ceiling for Tyler Warren is insane to me, and the fact that he slipped past them with them knowing they wanted a tight end, I just insane to me. Just insane.
But Carolina, they also go back to back on defense with Nick Scourton and Princely. I don't know how to say that guy's name,
Uh,
but Nick Scourton out of Texas A&M. I think he's
honestly,
a really good player coming off the edge. And
I'm
then they also signed Trevor Etienne in the fourth round, and then Jimmy Horn Jr. in the sixth round.
I like their back half of their draft a lot. Princely, former Florida Gator, I think he was there for 4 years, playing his
Yeah.
tail off. Arguably the best defender on Florida's defense with the Ole Miss that still was productive.
Mm.
He kind of to me has like the body type of Rashad Gary, but it's not only like a phenomenal pass rusher, good with his hands and his speed, but he can set the edge on a run and is strong enough to not just get washed away continuously when you're running his way.
But
That,
see, I think my bad. I don't mean to cut you off, but I
go
think
ahead.
that's the thing. I think this draft was so deep on the edge, like on the front seven, like that it was so deep this
Yes, because
year.
the amount of
Is what.
linebackers,
But how many receivers came? How many receivers were in the draft? How many Tedero McMillans were in the draft?
that is fair. There was like maybe about five of them with good looking seasons, I say.
Like there weren't a lot of standout receivers. Like
Isaiah Bond was one of them,
yeah,
or would have been one of them.
it was
And
Isaiah.
then
Yeah,
even
yeah, but it's also you got to look at the fit too. But Carolina needs a big jump ball receiver. They have Adam Thielen. They just signed Hunter Renfro, and they drafted somebody like Jimmy Horn. Like I think Jimmy Horn was a steal.
yeah, at the time
And
that
I
he
think you
went,
you now have a receiver room around him, and that rookie from last year. I forgot his name.
I know you're talking
Jalen.
about
Was it
Coker.
Jalen something? So
I think
yeah,
it's Coker last
bro
name.
was good last year
He's
too.
about six
So
foot. You got Xavier Leggett, who's still progressing. He's 6'3",
yeah,
so you got something to work with right there too.
you got now your X and your Y, or your X and your Z, your outside receivers. Like
Mm-hmm.
we man,
You don't have to put a tight end every time you want to go out 3, 4 receivers like they were trying to do last year.
yeah. So I think like I agree with you. Like I like the back end of their draft because I think
Mm-hmm.
picking up a player like Trevor Etienne and Jimmy Horn, I think Jimmy Horn is going to be a difference maker.
Return guy,
You
he's just
signed
starting off
a
too.
go ahead.
I said he's even a return guy starting off too. He's the
Yeah,
kid. He's the type of guy he's gonna work. His work effort and where he wants to be is not a question whatsoever. Honestly, I love seeing his reaction because when the coach and the owner asked him how many people you got over there, he was like, "Man, honestly, we deep as hell, man." Just real,
but
like just real
Jimmy gonna be
genuine.
him though. Jimmy gonna be him though.
Exactly. And he's a great person. He's a Florida boy that just want to ball and enjoy life and do shit for his family, do stuff and give back to the people who gives him chances.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, but I
Mm-hmm.
also like that Carolina got the tight end out of Notre Dame, Mitchell Evans, because a lot of people talk about getting a quarterback a tight end. Like you just need to. Like, that's just a safety valve for him, and I think you see it. But a lot of good young quarterbacks, like they just like Dalton Schultz down in in Houston, Zach Ertz last year in Washington. Like you got to have a good quarterback, a young good quarterback for these young, good tight end for these
For
young
these young
quarterbacks.
quarterbacks. Yeah. And then
Yeah,
they got Tommy Trimble too, who can ball. So Carolina's one of those teams, they gotta go double tight under center. They gotta run maybe a little bit out
yeah. I forgot they
formation.
had Tommy Tremble. Yeah,
So having that double tight end, younger guys back there, hopefully build some careers
yeah,
for Carolina.
yeah. But and the Bears after they went back to back skill position picks. I'm not too upset about the Colston Loveland pick. While I didn't necessarily love it, I don't hate it. But I don't like Luther Burden in the second round. Like, I
I,
think you can wait on a Luther Burden, or even if he goes somewhere else, you have like, did we not learn our lesson last year by
exactly.
having too many skilled players and like
But I thought the
yes
offensive
they
line was really one of their
drafted
focuses.
I yeah I mean, they did pick up an offensive. They had 3 second-round draft picks, so they did pick up an offensive lineman in the second round. But I think, hell, you should have used all three of them offensive linemen because you need all three of them at offensive linemen. Like, there's no
Yeah,
reason why
like,
you should have only drafted 2 offensive linemen this year.
my only thing with the Loveland pick, I didn't, nor did I feel like a lot of people thought Loveland was that highly rated or that
No,
good of a guy to pick first round. But they were like you said, there were linemen that were more value wise, more valuable that you could have picked up in the first round alone. Like Simmons, who dropped to the Chiefs at pick 32. I love that pick. He got hurt within 5 games, but been dominant, like nothing but domination.
don't even give me, bro. We
Like,
gonna get on. We
and
gonna
that's a
get to
left
that, but
tackle.
I mean, I exact. But it's good that they needed that though. Like someone like them, but that goes to like I think there were very few teams that had a bad draft. I don't think anybody really had a bad draft. I'll say that, but I do think there were a few moves where like it
Just
was
some
like
misses with reaches.
yeah, and I think Luther Burden was one of them because you allow the Chiefs to do what get a player like that, and it's like I think you can if you want to move back up into that first round, maybe you trade two of those. I think maybe you take a tackle or something at that 10th pick, and then try to trade up and get Colston Loveland. Or I just don't see the value in what they did. And
Because I think he had a stat. Either he had the most like receptions or receiving yards at Michigan, or he might have had the most tight end receptions last year. But I'm like, that's all you write it on.
but
But
bro, we're
actually, it
talking
wasn't
about
last year. It was when J.J.
but
McCarthy was quarterback.
but even then, we're talking about a team, an organization that does not throw the football. Like even when JJ McCarthy was there, first of all, we don't even know what JJ McCarthy is going to be in the NFL. But even when JJ McCarthy was their quarterback, he wasn't throwing the ball well. Let's not forget when
Donovan
in that bowl
Edwards,
game.
Chase Brown.
But in that bowl game against Alabama, he came out like second, third play of the game and threw an interception. He got lucky and they got possession back. Like
A
I
ball
forgot
control
what happened. There was
football.
like a flag. There was like a flag or something that they ended up technically giving them possession, the ball back. And it's like, bro, they don't throw the football. That was my whole thing on it too. And it was like, bro, you didn't draft this man to
Be a blocker tight end. He's a receiver,
like.
one of the best receiver tight ends in the country, arguably.
And if you ain't got nobody, and you didn't bring him in to run 11 person or 12 personnel with nobody, no tackles or guards or centers. Like you're not gonna tell me, or you didn't bring this man because you didn't bring him in to add him just to add him to the offensive line, like
He's
or to
not built for
block
that.
an 11 personnel. No, you're going to use him in the middle of the field. That's why you're going to bring him in at tight end. You're not using that. That's why my mind.
And then
I
the
cannot
double,
fathom. I cannot wrap my head around it.
and then a double down, getting Luther Burton.
Yeah, not only exactly. You double down on your skill position and said, "Oh nah, let me let
Because if
me
you
go
run
and
to
get
our personnel, who's
Luther
gonna
Burton."
play? Who finna play? Is Duze gonna come off the field? Is DJ Moore finna come off the field? And then when they run trips, they put a tight
Thank you,
end in.
thank you. Who's coming? Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's all that's
I
all I'm
guess
on.
I guess the plan is to give up on DJ Moore, but at what expense? Or if you do that, what expense? Because
Giving up on DJ.
DJ Moore
Are
don't
you
want to be there.
serious?
DJ, no, I'm only saying this because DJ Moore don't want to be there. We saw how he
No,
was
he
on the
don't.
field, but if your grand scheme of things is that's the grand scheme, like I just see Luther Burton on the offense as a gadget guy that's gonna have to develop
He got yes, yes.
because
Because what week was that? Was that week like? I think maybe we had gotten to the season a little bit, but let's not act like Missouri wasn't top 10 earlier early in the season and got blown the hell out. Like them boys got embarrassed on national television. Like so
and then the best receiver gets the most snaps off of motion, pre-play movement. I understand looking for mismatches. But the way they went about it, bro.
Oh, he was just the best player in their offense, though. Like it's Missouri. He was the best player in their offense, and I'm going to get him the ball any way I can. But them doing the Bears doing dumb stuff like that is why we end up with the Ravens drafting fucking Malachi Starks at 27. This is the rich getting richer, and this is what I talk about. You already have Kyle Hamilton. Why? 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 No, no, they're
Exactly.
not the same player. No, yes, Kyle Hamilton is a out of this world different player, but this now gives you the ability to put him in the box and play him wherever the hell you want to while we put
Exactly.
Malachi
Flying
Starks on the
across the
back end.
field. Flying across the field. Both of them covering from sideline.
Like, what are we
They're like a
talking
lot. They're
about?
like Fred Warner at this motherfucker. Fuck
What are
sideline.
we talking
Like
about?
sideline to sideline every play.
I have a 6'4" safety in Kyle
Goodbye.
Hamilton that I can match up on your tight end, who's going to lock your tight end up, and then
Exactly.
now I got Malachi Starks just rolling.
And then the Seahawks, right after the Ravens pick a safety, the Seahawks like, oh, let's go get that fast 6'3" safety that used to play linebacker for South Carolina. Yeah, we need him. Both of them passed up on.
Yeah, bro was nice though. No, bro was nice. Bro's
Like,
nice. It's Nick. Nick. I forgot his name.
I'm about to say, you got that pronunciation. I'm not even gonna try to butcher
Yeah,
buddy
nah,
name like
yeah.
that.
He is
I
nice
ain't gonna
though.
do it like that. But bro,
But they
like
needed
you
him. But
saying,
this is just. Go ahead.
but like you're saying though, bro, y'all want to get Loveland. I passed about 3. There was 3 top safeties that could get picked in the first round. I barely one of them got off the board when it should have.
Barely one of them got off the
Barely
board.
one of them. Like, bro, like we're just, I like a team need to understand that, but you can fill out that team lead by still drafting good in the second round. Like you're
No,
all
I agree because I think you feel a team need by drafting someone like LeJontay Wester like they did in the 6th round because I think Rashad Bateman has been good. What's his name?
Zay Flowers.
Has been good, but you need more on offense.
The receiver core is always like slim.
You need more on offense. Like you got Derrick Henry.
You got Lamar
You need
Jackson.
more on offense.
You got
You
Isaiah
need more on
Likely.
offense.
You got Mark Andrews.
You need more on offense.
You need more receiver production. Better receiver production.
Yes, that's a better way to put it. That's a better way to put it because there's too much. While they are getting a lot of production out of 11 and 12 personnel,
What
we got to
happened?
like we got to be able to. We need explosive plays and we're not getting them. We're just not getting them. While in the playoffs, we have to be able to run the ball. Yes, we also have to be able to get explosive plays. We have to. We cannot count and bank on 10, 11, 12 play drives each and every time we come out here on this
Because
football
when it's
field.
5 minutes left and you're down 14 points, and it takes you half or more of that clock to get down there. You're not serving. Like your defense
Even
obviously
then,
put you in that position. Like
yeah, but before we even get to that, that's not even sustainable football because now I need my offense to not commit penalties and do dumb stuff
need my defense to not commit penalties.
continuously over and over and over and over and over. And wow, that will wear on teams. You're just asking a lot out of yourself. You're asking a lot out of your offense. While their defense will begin to wear down, you're asking for a lot.
And for the Ravens, we have seen it has not worked. It is not the way for their
No,
life.
it hasn't. It
It is
hasn't.
not the way whatsoever for those guys.
It just hasn't. And I don't think it boils down or all falls on Lamar Jackson. No, but like we just said, we've seen it just hasn't. It just for whatever reason, when the playoffs come around, it doesn't. Something doesn't click, and there is whether it's the divisional round or a championship round, something is not clicking, and we're not winning games. So something has to change. Something that something has to change. And while it was great going and getting Derrick Henry last year, something has to change. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again
Again, and
and
expect a
expecting
different
a different
result.
result. It's just not going to happen. And but man, only reason why I'm gonna talk about these sorry ass Cowboys is because they did draft Siobhan Rebel in the third round. He slid. He was really supposed or projected to be a first round draft pick, but he tore his ACL,
Missed
got
8
hurt.
games last season.
But the Cowboys drafted Tyler Booker with their first round draft pick out of Alabama. Javon Revel in the third round. Jaden Blue, they go back. They got 2 running backs, and I think which was really good for them with Jaden Blue and
Yes.
Phil Maffa. I think 2 similar but different running styles.
You know, crazy
They
thing
can
about
be
Jaden Blue to
good
me. One round
What's
of
up?
Jaden Blue get drafted again.
In the 5th round.
He got picked up 5th, 12th pick. He tore his ACL. One of 2 Texas running backs last year tore their ACLs at the end of fall camp, missed the entire season. And he got picked 5th round. What pick was
He
Shedeur
still
again?
went before Phil Maffa. And still, but oh yeah, Shedeur was 5th round, 6th overall though.
But
Yeah,
I'm gonna get off that soapbox.
yeah,
But
yeah,
Blue, arguably,
yeah.
after seeing Blue the year beforehand, he was arguably looking like a top 10 back coming in at the least
That
at the
boy
floor, a
nice.
top 10
That
back.
boy nice.
Missed the whole season. Got
I
drafted.
think Phil Maffa was nice too.
Oh yeah, pound for pound
I just
one.
think Clemson was but that's neither here nor there. They
Bro,
still almost won the ACC though.
I'm about to say, the year beforehand, watching him play that boy.
Actually, they did win the ACC, didn't they?
Yeah,
They were trash and still won the ACC. Man, that's why I have. That's you know what. I'm gonna get off my
That's a
soapbox,
whole.
but that's why. This is
That's a
why
whole
once
different
again Cam
discussion
Ward
right
wasn't
there.
number one. Why Cam Ward wasn't number 1 pick? But whatever.
Like, bruh. But man, like, Maffa, he put that 1 foot in the ground. You better have your chin strap fucking buckled because he's falling for 3.
He go.
He's
Oh boy,
falling for 3. The first line of contact, Punisher.
But it's all right. Down in Washington, we got somebody for that. We got a boy named Bobby Wagner that ain't playing with that.
Hey,
B.
I
Wag's going.
hope every game he play against power back that happens. That boy got a season to go through too, and we know what is he like. How old is he? I don't want to say.
Old as hell.
I was going to say that boy
Old
pushing
as
40.
hell.
He pushing 40 like
He is in the league though, playing football. Man, you can't 40 years old out there taking them hits. That shit different. That's different.
That rotator cuff could be calling on him, man. You know, no prayers for his downfall. But hey, Ray blew somebody showed he blew Rashad Mendenhall shoulder out. But he told us he knew he needed to retire.
Rashad Mendenhall.
Yeah, bro. He broke his collarbone. Like the first.
You said, hold on, who broke it?
Ray Lewis broke Rashad Mendenhall.
Oh, it was Ray Lewis. Okay, I thought you was talking about Bobby Wagner did that. And I was like, damn, Bobby Wagner been in the league since Rashad Mendenhall. He did. He been in the league a minute, but damn.
He was in college. He might have got drafted right. But man, like, still though, like y'all got a team, y'all got a little squad building up over there in Washington. Y'all quarterback help and rally.
Oh, we ain't got a little boy. We ain't got a little. We some big dogs. Hey, just wait on it. We gonna get that defense together. We gonna be some big dogs. Just wait on it.
When y'all get the Eagles, I'm gonna say y'all some dogs.
When we consistently splitting games with the Eagles in the conference, because I don't think we ever gonna dominate them game for like 2 games straight up. Sweep them.
You gotta beat them at Philly.
I think if we do, it'll be in a close game. But I think but everybody else, I ain't worried. The Cowboys, I damn sure ain't worried about the
geriatric world.
Yeah, exactly. But talking about people sliding, bro, Will Johnson went all the way to the 2nd round, bro. He went to 15th in the 2nd round to the Cardinals.
You know the first thing they said about Will Johnson, why he slid? His injuries.
Yeah,
his injuries. They're arguably one of the best corners. Meanwhile, we got somebody.
Not argue. I ain't arguing. Who you arguing with? Go argue with your mama, boy. Who is you arguing with? Will Johnson was the best corner in this draft.
I'm thinking of Barron from Texas. Them two
Jade
top
Barron.
2.
I can respect Jade Barron.
That Georgia game, it was Texas fans. I was holding. That was not a pass interference.
I will. Hey, that boy held his own. Jade Barron held his own against Jeremiah Smith in that playoff game.
That's a motherfucker. He had to play Ryan Williams. He had to play Georgia. Like that boy was holding his own.
Oh yeah, he gonna get Jade Barron. But there's a reason why he won why he got the what's the name over Travis Hunter,
Travis.
and I don't think he what was that? What is that award? The Biletnikoff is the receiver. What's the corner award?
I can't remember. I
Why is
gotta
my
look.
mind going blank on that? What? But either way, like with you understand and you can see why he won that and like
The
why.
throat.
Turn on the
It's
film.
it's a
Oh
throat
yeah, the
award.
Jim Thorpe. Yeah, the Jim
Jim
Thorpe
Thorpe.
award. Yeah, and it's like I'm sorry, but damn, if Travis Hunter won the Biletnikoff, he damn sure should have won the Jim Thorpe. That motherfucker. He was he was a better corner than he was receiver. You didn't. There got to a point. People was testing Travis Hunter, and they got to the point. He said, "Nah, I'm not even gonna do it. I ain't even gonna play because you know what? If I make this throw, we might not. I might not get another chance."
Mm-hmm.
And you're
But the
probably
fact
not,
that,
because guess what? Not only is he gonna get his hands on it, he probably gonna take it to the house, nigga. It's going for 6.
like, if the Saints was gonna pick somebody before, like that pick for Buddy
Well, they should have got
from
Will
Lewis, bro.
Johnson.
Exactly, bro. You would have got somebody hurt. Why not get the best player who got hurt or one of the
Yeah,
best?
especially after you just traded Lattimore. Like,
Exactly. Exactly. Like, bro. But Will Johnson, he's a hell of a player. That playoff run they had really showed, I feel like, a lot. Helped his draft stock overall, just his consistency.
and then sorry behind Packers, man, for the first time ever in the
No, first
in
time,
the
first time since 2002, we picked the
okay,
wide receiver round
okay,
one.
okay,
round one.
okay. Because they would
2000.
no during the draft though they was talking about it was the first time ever. It was the first time they drafted a receiver in round 1.
In this decade, yeah. Actually, it was the first time. Yeah, first time because 2002 was the last time, so it's been 23 years.
Who
But you
did y'all
know,
draft then?
that's a good question. I think it might have
Was it
been
them
Greg
James
Jett.
Jones or some shit?
I
Like,
think. I'm trying to think because Monte was one. I don't think Jordy's not that old.
yeah, I don't even think Donald Driver and them boys was that old. Like,
Yeah, no, I don't think Donald Driver was young enough to get drafted in 2000. Donald Driver was old when he left us, bro. I know it's funny, but like that man was old when he left us. I'm really trying to think. Hold on.
but Matthew Golden was that next receiver taken off the board.
A
I
month.
thought it was very interesting that he went to the Packers though, because y'all have a good young receiving core. Not only do y'all have a good receiving core, they're young. Like,
Here go the thing. What's the best ability in this league?
availability. Christian Watson stay hurt.
I'm
Christian
sorry, bro,
Watson,
but
he too
Christian, you need
fast.
to please, bro, please just save half of the season for your hamstring. We can like not
He
trying to
too
downplay
fast,
him.
Chris. Chris, you cannot be that tall and that fast and expect to be healthy, bro. That man is 6'3" and runs 4'3". That man should not be that fast
The
and that
whole
tall.
the whole posterior of his leg, bro, from his Achilles to his hamstring, his ankle, bro, that's literally the
Bro,
only thing.
not only does that man run that fast, though, Chris, the man is then. Now you want the man to take some hits. The man is he like now you want me to get tackled, like.
Actually, bro, we picked up Javon Walker in 2002. Javon Walker was a 2002 pick.
Now you know what? You know what's so crazy? Somebody was talking about Cam Ward being the worst, or like being the least talked about. What's the name draft pick? But it was him. It was him because somebody mentioned his name, and I was like, "That's before my time." Like 2002, I was born in 2000.
I'm born
I was
99.
yeah, I was not like real aware.
I had a kid's Jerry Rice jersey on in 2002 and a kid's Julius Peppers.
Oh
Like,
no, not me, my boy. You know what? I don't know if it was '02, but I was talking to somebody about this the other day, bro. You know the last 2 jerseys I bought from Washington. Take a guess.
Jason Campbell got to be one. Pierre
And Chris
Gasol.
Cooley.
Oh,
Chris
Chris
Cooley.
Cooley.
You know who was making the jerseys the last time I bought a jersey?
Reebok. Yo, that Reebok. Hey, no, Cat Reebok has some of the best jerseys I've ever seen made, boy. Because them things will last. You can play them
My
football jerseys.
coworker was talking about he bought an RG3 jersey. He said he was never going to buy another quarterback jersey, or he said he's never going to buy another Washington jersey unless they were like cemented in their legacy. He said because that foolishness with RG3. But the Texans, they got receivers. I think they needed to do this, especially with um, is it Tank Dell? Nico Collins. Nico Collins. I don't think he's going to be out for a while.
Yeah, he's still out.
They don't
Lost
resign.
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, and then so they go get both the receivers out of Iowa State, Jada Higgins and Jalen Knowles. Um, and I think they can be a good tandem. I think they can
They
be
have,
pretty good. They already have Dalton Schultz. They've got a pretty good squad. I think they can be a pretty good receiving core down there in Houston.
yeah, they're pretty solid. Like, I forget which one is the shorter one. That kid got some hands, bro. Like, damn near Stickum level.
I think it's Jalen Knowles. I could be wrong though.
Okay. Because wait, which one went first? Was it Haggins?
Jaden Higgins.
I think he's the shorter one, man. Because one of them is barely
Oh,
6 foot. I think one of them about 6'2", 6'3". But like you said, though, that tandem was going crazy in the Big 12. Like that was one of the main key factors why Iowa State was going out having these games, like playing ball. Another competitive team come out of the Big 12 as well too. And honestly, I think it's nowhere up but up for the Texans.
oh yeah, I would agree with you. I
Mm-hmm.
would definitely agree with you
I think the one thing I would
because
like to see the Texans, did they pick up a running back in the draft? I don't think they did.
the Texans.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They got Woody Marks out of USC. He's pretty good.
Okay, yeah, he was a solid back. I think
Yeah,
overall,
he's a solid back. Like I definitely don't think he was worth the fourth round draft pick, but it's also team needs.
we had DJ Giddens out there, 4'3", 200 pound, 220, bruiser back.
I agree.
It's just
I agree.
NFL, the no fun league, bro.
We talk about running backs. Marion Hampton went to the Chargers, which I think was an interesting pick. Maybe they're looking at Omarion Hampton and Najee to kind of be 1-2 punch. Maybe
You don't like the Mario Hampton
I
pick?
don't, I don't dislike it, but
Because we know Charger John Harbaugh, what he's gonna do.
he wants to pound. He wants to run that. He wants to run that football.
I think
Like he wants to.
him picking up Hampton was an understanding. Like,
Was
okay,
that okay? We gonna run the ball. We gonna run it 30 times, 30 to 35 times a game. All
but
right,
I'm not gonna kill
I
my
can.
guy who's one of those guys out there, especially not a rookie, because he got
Yeah,
Najee, he got he has a veteran presence there. But
yeah.
then Marion, both of them can be one pep comebacks, both 220 plus.
I can get behind it. I can get behind what you. I can pick up what you're putting down.
I can't remember if it was a Marion or there's one other running back that did not have a fumble throughout a college career.
Hmm.
It might have been him or RJ. I don't know why I want to say RJ Harvey, but I feel I'm wrong with that. With saying him, but that motherfucker, he's faster than Najee too. He can catch the ball at the backfield.
Oh yeah, he gonna be. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I like the pick by the Chargers. I'm just shocked they didn't go tight end earlier. I will say that. I figured
I
that
can agree with that,
I figured
especially by the way that what's name wants to play football, like you said.
that play
Yeah.
action is gonna work. Having that extra blocker when you go 12 personnel, like 12 personnel, not being worried about either one of your tight ends or at least one of them. You know which way you're gonna run. You know which way you can flip them around constantly too. Like you got Joe Alt at left tackle last year too. Like I
I was
think they
definitely expecting them to pick up some more offensive linemen than they did, but I guess the offensive line wasn't bad last year though. I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
the biggest thing me and one of our good friends who's a Chargers fan, just like
Oh shit,
receiver-wise,
yeah,
like
Josh.
explosive
Yeah.
receivers. Like me and him was talking about that yesterday.
Exactly
Watching
though.
my home.
You got damn Justin Herbert in that strong ass arm. This nigga can throw the ball 80 yards. And they
Like,
don't have they have zero explosion. Zero.
they got
They're
some
scrubs.
the receivers. I think they picked up like
I
two,
forgot they
maybe
were
three
scrubs
receivers,
out there.
but they're just big, like big frame, physical. Which I understand, that
Just
work,
big body
especially catches and
receivers,
stuff.
yeah.
But the fact that we understand you got to like West Coast pass this ball down the field, and we're not worried about not going like 20 yards plus for real. Like you don't have confidence in your guys taking that explosive top. Like
No, you don't
it puts you
exactly. You're
all
not even
those
worried about you ain't even
like
worried about the quarterback can make the throw, but you ain't even worried about the receivers getting there. Like
I'm telling you,
and
bro.
if they do, my corners can keep up with them to get there.
If you get your one, I'm cool with giving up one, but you're not gonna get multiple. Like literally, just
Oh,
like
that's
play
sad.
everything, playing stuff underneath. And
That's so
some of
sad.
these, the only other issue I have with these physical receivers is that not all of them they're physical, but they can't create separation in the best league of football with guys who
Tedero
understand how to
McMillan.
play. Exactly. George Pickens before he went and worked for Route God
Yeah.
this off season. Like that was some of the best route I see George Pickens do this off season. Off season. Like, but still to that point, I feel like why did the Chargers, which Isaiah Bond I think already got signed with somebody undrafted, but you had Isaiah Bond floating out there. You had Isaiah Bond floating out there, bro. And he got signed.
Yeah, you talking about some damn explosion. You gonna get that's 4-2 right there. That's 4-2 right there.
4-2,
A
true
true
4-2.
4-2. He played at 4-2. Like there ain't no that's 4-2 right there.
Boy,
But the Dolphins, they pick up Ali. They made the move to draft Ali Gordon, and they also signed Quinn Ewers with their seventh round pick. But Ali Gordon fell to the sixth round. This is a guy who, if he would have came out of school last year, would have been a first round back.
this
Are we are we
allegation he got hit with
serious?
the allegations what off season this year, and then because of the way his team performed, and he's a part of that team, dropped him. Dropped like
Straight like that though?
you see what it did. Hey, we've seen this
We
guy.
did
Guys
we
who
did see. We saw a whole lot. We did see.
this is
This
an
draft showed
objective
us a whole
league.
lot.
This is an objective league. There's only 10 to 12 teams that actually try to win this motherfucker every year.
That's real shit. Hey, that's real. That's real.
I bet you,
That's real.
no matter who you're a fan of, we can see that. My team is about to be one of those teams who don't care about winning because we want
Who
to complain
don't
about
give
the
a
play
fuck
instead of
about winning?
we want to complain about a playoff season, try to push that instead of actually pushing on guys to get better, get personnel in there to improve guys, keep guys healthy. Actually, like that's crazy because this one podcast, Derek Bates, former NFL linebacker, he has a podcast, Raw Room. He talks about his defensive guys because he's one of the coaches for the Carolina Panthers, assistant coach. One of his tasks is make sure his linebacker room is watching film and certain other rookies watching film. There are guys who literally throughout a whole season of NFL football who has less than 12 hours, less than 6 hours logged on film.
And how do
That
you
is
expect to be
that's
a
a thing in the
professional
NFL.
athlete?
Exactly, bro. That is a thing now. Young guys, like guys who are like going into year 3, not watching no film throughout the whole season. Like the fact that you
That's
cannot put the
unreal.
effort even to try to fake it. Like you telling people you don't care enough to even make it seem like you care.
To even make it seem like you even act like you give like you can't even turn this shit on and just
Let
come
them run.
on,
Like
gang. What are we doing?
y'all at meetings could have that shit running. Y'all are the plane at the hotels, and you're doing everything but that. You're
Yeah,
doing
literally.
like you're
When you
literally
just sit in the crib, what are you doing, son?
like, bro. How did you get to this level? How are there guys like that in the league? But guys who have been winners
Bro,
during the whole
that's
football
but
in the league.
my bad. Go ahead.
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry. I didn't
nah,
mean to cut you off.
nah, that was good. Nah, I was at the end of my point. What you about to say?
positioning. This shit goes beyond talent. Like it goes beyond talent because there are players that I've seen that are just stupid talent that just don't make it to the league. But there are people like
Go ahead and
that's
spit.
just all. That's just
Go
all
ahead.
it comes down to. Like it's just there are players like that's just so crazy to me. Like that's just all it comes down to.
Like we heard that at high
And
school. Like
yeah,
people just skipping film now. Like now, want to watch any film, bro. But the fact that you're getting paid, this is your job now. This is
because
literally
bro,
your
even
job.
bro, at our in high school, we if you want watching film,
12 hours was the minimum
bro, if you want watching film, bro, like you were gonna hear about it. Oh, you was gonna hear
for
about it.
one.
Like,
Don't let it be during the summer, or don't let it be outside of football season. That's what's gonna be worse.
bro, and don't be watching it. Don't not watch film and then get out there and be messing up.
And they'll be
Like,
looking crazy, bro. Like you the one, man. Like what? Like you
but
just
it's
got the
just
key. You
that's
just had
just
to answer
simple. It's
key to the
simple,
test.
bro. It's like because you're not going to tell me that, bro. We played at one of the best high schools in the state of North Carolina. Not only have won state championships, have year in and year out producing some of the best players that come out of the state of North
Head coach put out 200, what,
Carolina.
200, 250 kids to college.
We're how I have not. I just don't. I just haven't seen. I haven't seen it. I have not seen anybody, or I don't know anybody that just off of talent alone. And I'm talking three, four, 3 and 4 stars. I don't know if we've had a 5 star, but like 3 and 4 stars who have gone to college and like just not watching film, like just not, just like,
Exactly, bro. How did you get through college like that?
but like, how do you then go and like, okay, maybe this is just like this is just a different level of talent that I've never seen before. But I feel like we've played with some high, very, very high level athletes.
Bro, like
Not just with, but
up
against.
against
Play, people,
Dexter Lawrence
players
coming
that
out
have
to
gone
say
to the
Elijah
NFL,
Moore,
like
like
players that have gone to the NFL. Yeah, like
it's really mad.
how or where do we get into this place of
Caleb Farley.
not watching film? Like, and it's like, why do I even want to be a bro?
What?
Bro,
Right now, like you was about to say, why do
bro.
I even want to do this if I'm not going to do anything to better myself at it? I'm just doing it to
Why
do
the
it.
hell do I want to be out on the field clueless? Like, hey, bro, it is such a bad feeling to be on the field and not know what's going on or get embarrassed on the field or you doing
Because
something, and, bro, and it's just like
I'm gonna just go out here and do this. But then same result.
literally,
It's like going back to what we was talking about earlier, the definition of insanity. Like it ties in with that because you continuously not watch film, but then wondering what needs to change.
you.
Amen. You got
But
got to
but
be the
I'm gonna
change, see
just
the change.
yeah, I'm gonna step off my soapbox, 'cause-
Man,
but the Eagles part of the rich getting richer, bro. They not only do they sign one of the three best safeties out of in this draft, and one out of Texas, Andrew. I don't even know how to say his last name,
Mbuga.
but the rich get richer. They draft the safety out of Texas, and they get Jahad Campbell out of Alabama. I don't understand how you allow a team that just won a Super Bowl, They just won a damn Super Bowl. They just won the
Just
Super
feeling. Hey,
Bowl.
that was one of those teams. Even though they got rid of free agents, They're just
They
reloading.
reloaded.
They're just reloaded because they got more.
reloaded.
They already
did not.
accounted. They accounted for all this already. Like,
Bro, everybody was talking. Bro, Howie Roseman, that's the owner's name. That man always got he always got a plan.
2
Yes,
steps
they got
ahead.
rid of a lot of people. Like you said, they got rid of a lot of good players in free agency. But damn, you look at this draft and you just like, bro.
Like, they just got everything they could look like they wanted. Like,
Everything
I
that walked out the
calculated
door
that.
got replaced.
Exactly. Quite literally.
Player for player. And they even added some. Bro, how do you let them get Ty Robinson from Nebraska? Bro was arguably the best defensive player. He was arguably one of the best players, not only in the country, but like on that defensive line.
Like, there's only 10 to 12 teams in this league that wants to win. Truly. Because who was I talking to? Oh, matter of fact, talking to somebody about a segment from Gilbert Arenas' podcast about the NBA. What's wrong with the NBA? These sorry teams, they make just as much money from winning as they do losing, are just content.
Yeah.
I think Carolina Panthers, one of those teams.
I think they're trying.
They're trying for the culture, just not to get run out of state.
I think the Panthers are trying.
They're trying just so they don't get run out of Charlotte, because that is like
Charlotte.
Because they was talking about moving to South Carolina, realize they're not making that money going to South Carolina because niggas barely willing to drive to Charlotte for the games now. You go to South Carolina, you might lose half of this state. Like, from not only just leaving, but the fact of now you want me to pay more to do that, watch that shit? No. No.
Yeah, literally.
But the Eagles, they have great scouts. They know
they do. Their scouting
not only
department
the
is
SEC,
crazy.
but the Big Ten too. Like, they get top, like you said, they got one of the best defensive linemen out of the Big Ten.
Their scouting department is crazy.
Like,
but then you look at scouting departments and you wonder how people like Donovan Edward, Kobe Bryant, and Xavier Restrepo go undrafted. Xavier Restrepo, I can kind of understand. He's undersized. He's undersized. He's just undersized, bro. And he's not fast. He's undersized and he's not fast. And so it's like, if you he's a pretty good route runner. I will give him that. But it's just but I also think
he can break off with both feet like it's
yeah. And so I think it was kind of a better situation for him to go undrafted, and he ends up in Tennessee with Cam Ward. But then you look at Donovan Edwards and Kobe Bryant, bro. Kobe Bryant was arguably the best defensive player. He was their best DB.
Turnover rate
at Kansas.
2 years. He had 2 years in a row, one of the highest turnover rates in the country.
And bro went undrafted, and he tweeted out, "There's not 26 DBs better than me." And damn it, I agree with him. I agree with him.
You're right. You were the top 5 all DBs. Shit, put him on a better team. I want to see how he stack up against Will Howard. Because if you put him on a better team, you got better competition.
Put him in the SEC. Put him in the Big Ten. Put him. Yeah.
That boy would have been Ole Miss. Maybe their defense would have had a little something more of that back end and pass coverage. If you're not getting no coverage,
did they not? I'm pretty sure Kansas
played Colorado.
Beat Colorado.
Kansas,
not only did they play, they beat Colorado.
I think they played Iowa State too.
Bro, Kobe Bryant is no scrub, bro. What are we? I understand this was a deep draft and a good draft, good players, but
I think they played same conference as BYU, same conference as Arizona State.
Undrafted?
Crazy. He ended up getting signed by the Falcons. But the fact that, like you said,
undrafted? Undrafted?
What more can you ask for? Because now we're getting these quarters. Half of them, like you said, he's better than. There's not 26 corners. I think that truly skill. You line them up against people. I just want them to win, whether they're in man or zone. He's gonna be the one to do it.
Man or zone.
And then we got half of these corners, DBs, kind of touching back what you said with teams that aim like Jacksonville or Ole Miss, who aims to pass the ball down the field as well, right? You're coming from these concept schools, strictly concepts. You were good out of high school, but then that school just produced you to who they needed you to be.
Yes.
Kobe
Yes.
Bryant is not one of those players. Isaiah Bond
I
is not one of
agree.
those players.
It's
Matthew
not.
Golden
I
is not one of
agree.
the players. Half of the running back room, R.J. Harvey, DJ Giddings, Cam Scatterboo even, and not one of them running backs. Not one of them players that comes out of strictly systems. Jackson Dart, wide receiver, the only wide receiver I at least saw get drafted, went, I think, somewhere middle in this draft, round wise. His tight end, one of his number one targets, Ferguson, went undrafted. Like I just do not understand.
Bro, because everybody knows it was a joke for that man to get drafted where he got drafted. But that's
And then
neither here nor there,
Isaiah
man.
Bond too, not getting drafted.
Yeah, I mean, he got the off the
And then
field
he got
issues,
prank
so
call. He got prank called too, just like Shedeur.
too,
And
just like Shedeur, yeah.
that just came out from some kid from what was it? It's a kid from, I think it was Texas A&M, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't.
And that whole one last thing too, though. This whole prank calling thing. How does this need to be handled in your eyes when it comes to people prank calling getting
Bro, coaches need to
what
be
I would
fired,
think would
bro.
be is confidential information?
Coaches need to be fired.
Yo,
Is your Wi-Fi? I think your Wi-Fi. You can hear me now?
yeah,
Yeah, but no, I'm saying like coaches need to be fired, bro. Like that's all it comes down to. Like, because there's no reason why you're even allowing people to get this information, and the fact that you're allowing them to get the information, and it's now like, yeah, it's just coaches need to be fired, bro, because this isn't something that I don't think this is like, yeah, people playing around, joking, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think this isn't something that you really joke around and play around with. Like, this is
exactly.
real. This is real life. Like, this isn't. These are people's real dreams, like real aspirations and goals, and like, and you just sitting here playing around. Like,
Then my biggest thing is too, if you got access to that, what else did you see? Because
yeah, you have access to a whole lot of stuff, and like you said, go ahead.
the kid who did it, the Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator son, he's 21 and plays football.
Oh, he plays.
The dad is a former NFL vet, 10-year vet.
Yeah, I didn't know that his son played football though.
Yeah, that when they put up his picture, like little small profile picture of him, he played.
Does
He
he
was on
actually
list.
play?
I don't know. It's not
But
D
I'm just
one.
saying, like, we start, but then like, that's just a point though. We start bringing up like narcissism and stuff, and it's like, all right, if this kid goes through the draft process or something like, or like, is his dad going to be able to
Oh
keep
no, he's not
keep
getting
him a
drafted. He
spot?
played at a small school.
No, but I'm saying
Oh,
like, okay, on a practice squad or something, and it's just like,
why do you
bro,
deserve to
ain't
be a
even
part of this?
like, and then it's just like, bro, I hope some shit really comes back on you because that's some real messed up stuff right there. Like, and I don't even understand how people find the joy in doing shit.
It was an
Bro, shit like that.
Alabama fan who called Isaiah Bond. That's what it was.
That's that's old SEC hate, bro. That's I hate that. That's hate. That is hate.
That's what I'm
The
saying.
shit with Shedeur, but the shit with Shedeur, I don't know or understand. But that shit with Isaiah Bond, that's hate. That's nigga. No, that's hate.
Hate that
That's
that
hate.
lost 2 years in a row. Shit, crazy. But man, the whole thing with Shador though, that's like, is there no confidentiality? Because if an NFL player went out, not even a playbook, discussing certain things that they have signed an NDA, and the whole thing with Shador, on top of that too, they gave him that phone for the draft. There's nothing linked to Shador on
Yeah,
the for the mobile provider on that. So you had to go through because apparently he was projected top 10. So you went through alphabetical order. You went hunting, knowing what you were doing. Had the audacity to record yourself, and then put
it
it out
was
on the
the
internet,
audacity to record that though. Yeah,
like with
and
your
put it
face in
on the
it.
internet.
They weren't trying to hide or nothing about it.
I guess they thought it was just gonna be a good little joke, like all in fun type shit.
If everybody want that 5 seconds of fame, but nothing. But you could have been good at football, good enough to have your name in the draft too. But
Nah, we not focused on that. We
now,
focus on other people and what they got going on, bro.
and now
Everybody,
you
it's too
put your
many people
job
hating in this world.
your dad, who did everything for you, who's an NFL vet himself. You know how your dad had to get to the NFL and what it meant to him, and what he's doing now. You not only say fuck all that, disrespect all of that, but now his job is on the line.